back to Harry Smith in Films Putting You to Sleep. Yoko said, "A dream you dream alone is a dream. A dream you dream together is a reality."
I just woke up. It's about, woken up successively. Elbows and waiting for me to get up. It's like 8:15 a.m. And I have to go walk down the street to the park. To go use the bathroom over there. I haven't really gotten the toilets to work. Oh boy, tipo. And I'm gonna try to get that to happen today. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, walk back here and start vacuuming. Some guys are gonna come by and we're gonna get the fridge out of here. And yeah, I actually didn't have too bad of a sleep. Slept on the floor. Wasn't so bad. I need to get some caffeine in me. Oh boy, alright.
what is the obsessiveness with information? There's a feeling that information can deliver us a kind of power, but not just power over things, but that there's something in itself that there's like a cognitive rush almost that happens with data. And I think we experience it now when even just watching a film like the Dobbs there, where you see lots and lots of images on top of one another. And even though the content is actually relatively thin compared to sitting down and reading a book that has a lot of data in it, there's this sort of buzz that comes from it, and I think it's a flavor of that almost sort of mystical desire for an overwhelming bit of knowledge. That was one of the things that I was interested in, like playing with the mysticism of information, putting information in for the logos. Right. Is this idea that like our relationship to information is kind of like a parody or an echo of some of a mystical kind of experience, and that we don't really go for that because it's too weird and it's hard to do, and so we just sort of, but we do have a glimpse of it in our fetishizing and consumption of information. Yeah.
I got like the eeriest vibe right away. I hand him the $50. I get handed an 8-ball. Okay, and they also knew I was a dope addict enough to the point where I was gonna sit down and smoke till the bag was gone. And I don't even know if it was all meth. I mean, there may have been something else in it. I don't know. I just know that when I went to my spot and started smoking, I instantly started hallucinating. I mean, the people that came through that night, it was absolute. I mean, I was letting them take hits inside my sweatshirt because it was fucking windy. I was letting like Ivor climb in my sweatshirt. Like, go ahead, Ivor. Go ahead and take his hit. And the random old man, I don't have no idea who this person is. And then me, duck in there, take my hit. Man, it just turned into like just a ton of hallucinations. Like once the first hallucination, I noticed, I looked up on the hill, and there was just like this group of like kids in white clothes, like choir kids, like just standing there looking at me. And it was just like really weird. I didn't understand it, so then I told Ivor what I was seeing. And he goes running up there and they all disappear. And then when he like disappears into a shadow, when he comes back out, he's wearing a jersey style shirt, said Mecca on it. And it stayed like that until he got really close. But then right then, like every leaf on the ground, whether it was this big, whether it was this big, whether it was a twig, whether it was a branch, everything was a person. Everything. Every little leaf looked like a little person, like just laying there, lifeless. Or not lifeless, with a smile on their face, maybe happy, but not moving. Yeah. But then there's one log next to me, which this log's probably still sitting on trial. It's been there forever. Everyone uses it to see a little bent one that's been there forever. Turned into this like probably 13-year-old looking girl. And I just mentioned to him that she was there, and then he's like, "Oh, can I see your pussy, baby?" And I was like, and then she got a really sad face and disappeared. And then like that's when things started getting weird. Like, I mean, there were so many points. There was points where I thought I was sitting on the back of a truck in a line of U-Haul trucks with a group with tons and tons of Mexicans gathered around me. And there was a point in time where I was looking left and I was looking right, and I really thought there was tons and tons of Mexicans just on the side of me. And maybe there were. That's what I don't know. Maybe there fucking were. I mean, that was Trog Alley, and I mean, I was sure some of the Mexican guys like work till like 4 in the morning and then start work at 6 in the morning. I wonder if they just were sitting there for a couple hours. I mean, when they all turned into the trucks, the hill had turned into like those big metal cones, like not metal cones, but like the big metal squares that some walls are made out of, where it's like holes in like metals, like not metal, but cement squares stacked on each other with little holes in them. So they're stacked up there, and at the top's like this big Arco sign, like just little like brotherhood memorandum, little brotherhood symbols and whatnot. And then in the morning, this is crazy. In the morning, I'm sitting there, and I don't remember which happened first, but so I'll just tell them how I remember them. Like all the kids that I was seeing, all the little people, they all turned into dead kids, dead children, and like I was just fucking running. I mean, I just saw them everywhere, dead kids everywhere, and they were the kids that the high Dracos basically take their life force to keep themselves from shape-shifting. In my mind, that's what these kids were. Yeah. They were all the innocent children whose blood had been drinking and souls had been taken to keep the reptilians from shape-shifting, basically, you know, to keep George Bush looking like George Bush, yada, yada, yada. And, man, just like all of them, I mean, like, but all of them would change when I got close enough, like within a foot or two. But then, like, I walk up to this bush and I see, like, this baby, this completely, the face is white, and the lips are blood red, and so are the eyes. I mean, I just started crying, man. I mean, like, thinking about it right now, it's really hard not. I just started bawling. Because it was a baby, dude. Just this beautiful, innocent little baby. And, like, it wouldn't change, though. I got close and it wouldn't fucking change. It wouldn't change back to whatever it really was. It wouldn't go away. And when I picked it up, it was actually a fucking white balloon with red lipstick drawn on lips on it, red circles in a plastic bag, which is really weird. Like, red circles where the eyes would be. It was drawn perfectly and placed there. It was weird, right? And then right when it turned back into what it was and I picked it up, a tree fell, which knocked down another tree. One shaped like a perfect dragon, and the other shaped a perfect griffin. Like, perfect. I mean, people saw it. And all over the ground, like, all the leaves and twigs, I mean, were laid perfectly in shapes of, like, owls and dragons and, like, lizards, snakes, fucking pyramids, the whole ground. And, like, I tried to point it out to other people. Some people said they saw it, other people said they didn't. Yeah, I mean, it was everything. I mean, it was just so wildly intense, dude. And then, like, I got word the next day that, like, that morning, like, Matt had stolen all my clothes, hidden them in a room, kicked everyone out of the room, went in there with one of his seance books, and then just, like, shut everyone out for the whole night, made hella noise and screaming and yelling, doing all this crazy shit, and everyone just like, everyone apparently just had, like, the worst night, just got, like, the worst vibes, like, all night long.
There's two things, alchemy, combined together, make a third thing, tertium quid. And as you're combining two things, cinema, music, live music, poetry, live music, dance, audience participation, live cinema, you come up with a third new thing. That's a resonating interval. The interval is the in-between. So my hand touching my hand is not tactility. The gap between my hands touching is what tactility is. That's the gap is where the action is, as Marshall McLuhan would say. Wagner's total theater is similar to what Brecht was trying to tackle with is the purpose of art to trance you out or to make you more aware and not trance you out. Keeping that in mind, Kant observed that there are two things. There's time, which is a form. Time is a form of internal sense, and space is a form of external sense. So we're tackling, navigating through the non-physical and the physical.
And a single finger moved in a circular motion means we're ready to go.
You know, all of us have, or most of us, I would think, have probably experienced dissociative states to some degree. You know, a lot of people have had the experience of driving to work on autopilot, so to speak, where you jump in the car in the morning and you drive to work and you get there and all of a sudden you sort of snap out and you're like, holy shit, I don't even know how I got here, who was driving my car. I could have, you know, I could have been running red lights and running over pedestrians. But the reality is that we were obeying the rules and we made it to work safely, but we did it in a dissociative state. So we don't have conscious recall of that state. However, if you were to go to a skilled hypnotist, so to speak, they could put you in a dissociative state, a hypnotic state, and access that information, and you would because everything that you do, everything that you experience is recorded in your brain, I believe. The problem is that we are not necessarily able to recall all of that information. So if you were to go to someone with expertise in that field, they could extract that information from you. You know, in a hypnotic state, you could tell them exactly how you got to work that day, what lights you stopped at, what songs were playing on the radio, whatever it is. And then they bring you back out of that state, and they now know everything that happened on your trip, but you still have no memory of it whatsoever. And that's really what we're talking about here, but in a much more sort of refined version where the government, and this is absolutely a goal of theirs. I mean, it's very clearly stated that they absolutely did experiment and attempt to do this. And the goal was to create what they called super spies, which are people who had these artificially created alter states that could be controlled, and these people could be sent on missions, so to speak, and do things that they don't actually have conscious awareness of, but that other people could get that information. So they're sort of like a blind courier, you know, that they're carrying information around with them that they don't even know they're carrying. So, you know, if you look at it in that regard, it's not really as bizarre and strange as a lot of people believe it is, because we do have the ability to achieve dissociative states, and their hypnotists and whatnot do have the ability to access those states. You know, the question is, can those states be enhanced through various techniques, and is the government willing to go to those lengths to create these kind of people? And, you know, to me, absolutely they are.